I'm basically working with academic institutions in those countries in order to provide them with the resources their students may need if they plan to advance their career in the areas that relate to Oracle technologies. So Oracle Academy is part of Oracle's commitment to help advance computer science education generally across the world, and we will specifically deal with our achievements in the countries in Central and Eastern Europe that I'm covering. Oracle is, as you know, a business-to-business company. It's one of the technology leaders, recently moving heavily its applications into the cloud, and being one of the major IT players, especially when it comes to solutions for large enterprises. That's where our strength and competitive advantages are. And well, if we are talking about the baselines for the success, you can see that there is quite a plethora of applications, solutions, and technologies that we provide, and most of them you can access for free through this Oracle Academy program. Okay, going a bit. My understanding is that for most of you, programming is the choice for your future career. Since you're attending Javantura, I assume that you plan to advance your career in this particular section, and that you will be part of this cohort of young programmers that is supposed to bridge the gap that we currently have in between the needs of the industry and the output of the education systems in general. It is estimated that by the end of this decade, 500,000 of IT experts will be needed throughout the European Union. And in the country in which we are right now, in Croatia, the number of job postings is per year 2.5 times greater than the number of students that graduate throughout the whole of Croatia at all centers of this area. So the gap is quite large and is growing since as Croatia joined the EU, it is estimated that around 10,000 of IT experts left the country out of the workforce that was supposed to consist of around 40,000. So 25% of the whole industry moved out of the country. What impact it can have for our competition and for the further advancement of the industry within the country, I don't think it should be elaborated any further. You know, this is the screenshot from TIOB Index. You are familiar with TIOB Index? So you're not? So basically, TIOB.com is publishing the list of the most popular programming languages in the world, tracing them throughout the history for decades, and you can see how basically Java did against other programming languages since 2002, which is the beginning of this graph. You can see that it is, and still is, one of the leading programming languages. However, it is not taught as much as other programming languages across STEM universities. One of the reasons why there is such a huge gap and why everybody is trying to hire programmers who understand and can program in Java nowadays. Java is the language that you can find on your business cards, on your credit cards. You can find them on your mobile phones. It's present everywhere. Internet of Things is mostly done by programming applications in Java. However, we lack Java programmers, and this is how the trend goes. So, Oracle Academy is an offer that Rochester Institute of Technology students, as well as other students, can benefit from free through the institutional membership of their faculty within this program. And it is supposed to give them the resources they can use while studying in order to enter the labor market with skills and knowledge that would give them competitive edge and ensure prospective career. So our offer consists of curricular materials which are in English, not in most of the languages in Central and Eastern Europe, unfortunately. We are a region of small countries and diverse languages. The offering is in English, in other major languages, starting with Spanish, being the second language spoken in the Western Hemisphere. Then we have French, Brazilian Portuguese. I don't know the difference between Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese. However, it is called Brazilian Portuguese, Arabic, and Russian. Not even German, as you can notice. And of course, I forgot the Chinese. Not even German is one of the languages on which those materials have been localized so far. However, you can access those materials which are on our LMS. We will certainly not win the award for the most user-friendly application as far as LMS is concerned. It's robust, it's mature, it is being used for both Oracle Academy, which provides its courses to students for free, and Oracle University, which provides trainings to our business partners and customers, which are not for free, which are being paid for. And of course, also you can gain access to the software, which you can download on your computers and use for teaching, studying, and research that relates to the studies as well. And this is something that I will elaborate a bit in greater detail in the minutes to come. I assume you already have a certain amount of previous knowledge about Java, right? Okay, if that is the case, you will certainly not use the resources that are available there for absolute beginners. The resources cover the whole vertical of education, starting from K-12 schools, from primary and secondary schools, all the way through the graduate and postgraduate studies. Of course, if we are talking about those who are exposed for the very first time to the world programming, we have those workshops that are fairly small in scope, that can be understood by absolute beginners, and that are supposed to attract them, to infect them with the interest and a love for this future career, while students from first years of colleges all the way to their graduation can use either all of them or just one of the free curricular materials that we offer, called Java Fundamentals, Java Foundations, and Java Programming. Of course, the further you advance up your educational ladder, the more complex the material becomes. So you have Java Programming, I assume, for advanced learners like you, while Fundamentals and Foundations are basically for those who are novices. Materials are quite comprehensive, covering from 90 to 180 hours of professional development. You can get them assigned by your teachers if you register on the Oracle Academy site. Registration is free of charge, so as soon as the institution is registered and you create your Oracle Academy login credentials and obtain them, you can access those materials and use them for self-study, or either to use them as a replacement or a complement of your regular study materials as far as Java programming is concerned. Of course, we have materials in parallel that cover databases, but I assume that's not as much of your interest as programming in Java is concerned. So remember that you have workshops for absolute beginners, free courses that relate to those interested in programming in Java, and of course 4 courses that relate to databases. This is something that should help you prepare to for entry levels of Oracle certification. I understood from the side conversation I had before this presentation began that you are interested in obtaining an industry certificate as well. So those courses, as you will see on upcoming slides, will prepare you for first certifications that are prepared specifically for students. These materials are, okay, you can see how many hours per course we have. These are platforms and tools you can use if you're beginning. Also, this is how workshops relates to the courses if you are novice. And I will skip this because you already know that. I think that this is what matters. So as students and Oracle Academy members, if you are preparing yourself for certification, you can obtain a voucher that will give you a discount at the official training and testing center that you have to register through in order to obtain the certificate. We are not providing those certificates. We are not organizing those testings. I think we are talking about Pearson VUE and Prometric as the regular testing institutions through which you have to apply. And if you obtain this voucher code, you can get certain discounts for those certificates. And we are talking about preparing for Java Foundation Certified Junior Associate. Then take into account that, for example, Java Foundations, taken as a self-study course, can help you pass this certificate, which is the first entry level into the world of Java-related industry certificates within our systems. Of course, if you move forward, then you can also get more advanced industry certificates later by attending Java programming course. Any questions related to that? Okay. So, as far as development environments are concerned, you can get an access to them through the Oracle Academy site. I'll show you how. You can download all the materials. I think that some of them are also available in the cloud, but not all of them. For as long as you are students and for as long as your institution is a member of the program, you can download and install all of those materials and use them for studying and learning purposes free of charge. So, as I said, teaching, not-for-profit academic research use. This goes beyond just programming. You can see that there are a lot of applications, including operating systems, that you can download and use for your studying purposes. So feel free to explore this page. I have a screenshot. I didn't know whether we will have the internet connection, so I took a screenshot of what you will see. And also, as students, you have access to other resources like webcasts, webinars, video materials that are published that relate to the topics like big data, like Internet of Things, like artificial intelligence, that may be interesting for you when you consider the topics for your future development. Resource library student dates that we had last year, if I'm not mistaken, Oracle Press books. And this is the landing page of the Oracle Academy program. You can, I'm here logged on as myself, but you can create your account for free and then access this member site through which you can easily see which resources are available to you, including software which you can download, access to training materials, and all the other resources that we have. We are constantly expanding our offer, so every year new pieces of learning content are being added. Most recently, in September 2018, this self-study material about artificial intelligence. I know that there is an interest, especially among students of high years, for program management related topics. Know that you can download Primavera, for example, for free as the member of this program. it's being heavily used in the industry as a project management software for complex projects. Since 4 of you are from Croatia, just for the record, Primavera is a project management software for Pelješac Bridge. Just to give you an example of the strength of the tool and its potential. Clearly very much used and studied in a separate subject in construction faculties of construction engineering. So a few words about what we have in Croatia. I have to admit that since I'm living and working in Croatia, traveling around Croatia is not as much demanding as far as time and effort is concerned. So we have quite a lot of institutions, almost 260 of them, covering all STEM faculties, all universities, and more than 200 secondary and primary schools, including those activities for which we organize free trainings for their teachers in order to get them acquainted to our materials. And the fact that they are all in English, I have to admit, does not represent much of a problem. What I've learned in this part of the world, the smaller the country, the better the English they speak in general. So that's the rule, and we have a strong presence in neighboring Bosnia and Herzegovina as well, present in all their major cities, from the capital of Sarajevo, Tuzla, which is the second largest city, Mostar, far south, and Banja Luka in the west. In Slovenia, we have 2 major universities. The University of Ljubljana, which is listed one of the best 500 universities in the world, if you saw those various indexes. The only one actually from the region, and their second largest university, University of Maribor as well. I don't think that we have many colleagues here from far north countries like Poland or the Baltic countries, so I haven't put those slides here, but we also have an agreement with the government of Hungary, and they don't have Ministry of Education, they have Ministry of Human Capital, Human Resources. Interesting concepts have been included. Education in the overall development of human capacity or human resources of the country. So they received funds from European Social Fund in order to put an emphasis to STEM studies in the country, and they signed a partnership agreement with major IT vendors, including Oracle, so we were organizing trainings there for their universities as well. Some of them quite old are listed here. You can see that they have around 70 universities in the country. Out of the 70, 20 of them are already included in the Oracle Academy program. So we have a fairly strong presence in the region. We intend to grow, we intend to add more resources, and this is a good opportunity to see how relevant we are for students in the region, and to see what kind of additional resources might be helpful to you in exploiting your future careers as far as Oracle technology is concerned. Oracle technologies are concerned, we are not talking just about Oracle, we are talking about whole partner ecosystem, the one in which companies like Ericsson, Nikola Tesla, who employs quite a lot of Java programmers nowadays, they claim that they are able to absorb, and that they have a need to absorb all the graduates, for example, from the faculty in Split. They have a development center in Split, and they can easily absorb the whole generation of Java programmers there. So much about their needs, and so much about the gap between needs, the demand, and the output that our education system produces. So, that being said, take a note of my email in case you have any further questions. This presentation is, I assume, available for download later, so you can review it. Do you have any questions as far as this topic of ours is concerned? How relevant it is for you? Okay, take note that I'm also a lecturer at one of our faculties. So I tend to ask a lot of questions, but don't get it personal. It's part of a professional deformation. Was this useful to you? Yeah. Have you used any Oracle Academy resources in the past?
Personally.
Okay, so I would invite you to take some time to explore the site. You can get access to Branko, your lecturer, and have yourself assign those curricular materials to see how useful they are. Basically, the feedback from the customers, from other students, from other teachers, is that they like materials. In countries in this region, teachers even prefer, even though in some countries it's not permitted by law, to give materials in English to their students, because English is the lingua franca of the industry, so you'll most probably work for a customer and communicate with him in English, or work in a corporation that will require to use English on a daily basis as the communication language of the organization. So, that being said, do you have any questions, any comments? You specifically were interested in certifications, right? So my suggestion would be to go to the site, go through those materials, obtain a voucher, which will provide a discount, and then go to a testing center. These are quite comprehensive materials. If we're talking about Java foundations alone, it's 90 hours of studies. And if you add to that Java programming, it's another 90 hours, which would make 180, and that's quite a lot. So you can be pretty confident when you decide to certify that you will obtain that certificate and move forward. And really, the partners on which I communicate on a daily basis keep asking, do you have students? If you have anyone who would like to work for us, let us know. The truth is that they start hiring at the first or second grade of your studies. That's the situation as far as the demand of the market is concerned. They're no longer waiting for you to graduate, because by then you're already working for someone else. Okay? Questions? Comments? Well, in that case, who am I to take your valuable time? Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope it was useful. And if you have any further questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you for your attention.